Guys, you're still watching So Jannelle, where we bring you stories of immigration and representation. If you're just discovering us, make sure that you keep our weekly dates. We are available on traditional TV. We are on TFC, ANC, and KXLA Channel 44. And we are also available on demand on I1TFC. And we are always on our social media platforms. Hit the subscribe button on YouTube to get our weekly content. We actually drop new content every day, so make sure you don't miss that. And the last how many weeks we've been dropping content about the Philippines and about Iloilo. Those stories were made possible through our partnership with the Tourism Promotions Board. So thank you for that. Maraming salamat. But at the same time, that was also made possible by Philippine Airlines. Recently, we went to their head office and caught up with Captain Stan. Here he is.
Philippine Airlines is the first airline in Asia since 1941. So it's the longest running airline. Of course, it's proudly Filipino. So I think that's the most important thing.
Yes.
That's why it's a source of pride for every Filipinos all over the world.
Yes.
And in your case, in the US, that's really important. A big market for Philippine Airlines.
Captain Stan of Philippine Airlines. Hello and welcome to So Jannelle.
Hello, Jannelle.
Thank you so much for welcoming us to your beautiful office. And for those who are familiar with Philippine Airlines, like our kababayans in America that are watching us right now, a lot of them, Philippine Airlines is their choice of carrier to go back to the Philippines. What updates do you have for us?
Oh, it's been so exciting the past few years for Philippine Airlines. So we know, pandemic, we had a difficult time. So the travel industry was crippled by the pandemic. However, after the pandemic, we're able to actually recover already. And that's a very good news for all the Filipinos. We've significantly improved on our back-end systems. So we started from there. We've significantly invested in digital transformation. We partner with many tech companies, for example, Salesforce and Amadeus. These tech companies will really take Philippine Airlines to a different level. The most exciting part, as you can see, the aircraft behind us, we'll start taking delivery of the Airbus A350-1000 end of the year. So December, we'll take our first delivery from Toulouse, France. The first flight, we're gonna fly to Asia for the first few flights. And then eventually, aircraft will be deployed to JFK. That's a very good news to our kababayans.
Yes, there's also a lot of direct flights from America, no? And you just launched the Seattle as well. Seattle, Manila, Seattle.
So last year, October, we just launched a direct, first time ever, Manila, Seattle direct flight.
Yes, yes. There's a lot of excitement, there's a lot of growth. And actually, it's not just your regular growth, they say it's rapid growth for Philippine Airlines. And a lot of them attribute it to you and to your leadership. Why do you think that is? What are some of the tangible changes that you've implemented?
In a company, the most important thing really is the culture. I would say the people. Because it's really the people who's going to do who's going to think of ways of improving the airline, as well as implementing them. It's really the people who make Philippine Airlines stand out. And for the transformation, it's more of promoting a more healthy culture, like everybody can just say their thoughts and suggest ideas. I think that's a very important factor that made Philippine Airlines to where it is today.
Yes.
A culture of transparency, because of course, here and there, we're not perfect. We're gonna do some mistakes. Actually, I call it a discovery. So it's a discovery for everybody to know. But the most important part is admitting it and sharing it with the entire team, so we don't make the same mistakes again.
Exactly. I like that. Accountability, transparency, and really being honest and being, working as a team, right? Is it still worth it to go to the Philippines? What more can they expect from Philippine Airlines?
You'll experience a different Philippines together with Philippine Airlines.
When people travel, there are some considerations, foremost of which is schedule,
Yes.
cost, aircraft. How does Philippine Airlines fare in those, in those considerations for traveler?
Particularly in the US, it's Philippine Airlines has the most direct flights to the US and back, right? With a good schedule.
Yes.
Especially to LA, we have twice daily flights. So if you want to depart in the morning or in the evening, I think we're quite competitive when it comes to the cost. With all the digitalization, a lot of efficiencies because of the more collaborative approach, offering the best value for money for the customer. Having better service,
Yes.
I would say you, one of our valued customer, can also vouch for that.
Yes.
Beside the safe landings, not just safe landings, but smooth landings of our pilots. And the hospitality of our cabin crew, of course, it's everybody knows that actually.
Yeah. When I landed 2 Saturdays ago, I FaceTimed my mom and she was like, why are your eyes so swollen? Because I've been crying on the plane watching those Filipino movies. But it's good because there's cultural connection already, right? So with that said, is it still worth it for Filipinos that are watching? Is it still worth it to go to the Philippines?
Now it's the best time to actually come back to the Philippines, especially now tourism. It's really a big part of the initiative of the government. In partnership with the DOT, we're really working very hard to promote the Philippines and all the, not just Manila, but all the other destinations that like Boracay and Siargao and Coron, Bohol, Cebu. So many destinations that we have to introduce them to the world.
Right, exactly. And with that said, as Filipinos, Filipino Americans go to the Philippines, visit the Philippines, what more can they expect from Philippine Airlines?
I always say, number one, we guarantee that we always prioritize safety. That's the number one priority of Philippine Airlines. And second, the schedule reliability is super important as well. So we want to be as reliable as possible. Of course, to be as on time as possible. And recently, actually last year, we received like a top 10 most punctual airlines award also.
Yay.
And lastly is the consistency of our product. So here and there, people might say that some of our planes are a little bit older already.
Yeah.
So that's the reason why 2 years ago, we ordered those Airbus A350-1000, which will start coming in end of the year. And not just that, even flying to our Asian destination like Hong Kong, Singapore, today, those aircrafts, some of them don't have in-flight entertainment. So there's also an initiative which will start April of 2025 to refurbish the cabin. To make it more consistent. So the experience of the traveler when they think of Philippine Airlines will be as expected. And of course the service as well, not just the airport, but in-flight. And also we're trying to improve on the post-flight, which is the baggage and all those things.
Right.
The Buong Pusong Alaga.
Buong Pusong Alaga.
Yes.
Go ahead, invite our viewers to visit the Philippines and take their PAL flights to come to the Philippines.
So to all our kababayans abroad, please continue to patronize Philippine Airlines. We've improved significantly and we really want you to see it. Please be on board one of our flights and start enjoying the Filipino food that we serve in flight. And as Jannelle mentioned also, the Filipino movies that are showing in flight. And visit the various destinations that is really getting so much better, and with the improvement in the infrastructure of our airports, you'll experience a different Philippines together with Philippine Airlines. So to make your travel more seamless and your stay in the Philippines more enjoyable.